Some of what you call responsibility is actually control wearing a respectable outfit. It looks mature, it looks dependable, it looks like I've got it. But underneath it, there's often a quieter truth. And that truth is that I don't feel safe unless I'm managing everything. Our official alignment anchor, yellow light, pause, breathe. Right where I am, God is. So I ask, what's the most aligned next step? Not the most impressive one. And I move one faithful step at a time. Here is today's consequence. When control disguises itself as responsibility, you exhaust your life trying to prevent outcomes you were never meant to manage. Because control doesn't just organize, control tightens, control grips, control makes you feel like the world will fall apart if you loosen your hand. And the consequence is subtle at first and then very obvious. You become the one who holds everything together, and no one learns how to hold you. In this conversation, there are two familiar characters. Character A is the fixer. The fixer is competent. The fixer is caring. The fixer is tired. They have learned that being prepared equals being safe. So what does the fixer look like? It might look like taking responsibility for everyone's emotions, anticipating problems before they happen, feeling anxious when others are relaxed, saying, I'll just do it, because delegation feels like risk, and carrying the mental load while calling it love. Character B is the steward. The steward still leads, still serves, still shows up, but they know the difference between stewardship and control. So what does the steward look like? It might look like doing what's theirs and releasing what's not, letting people be responsible for their part, trusting timing without forcing outcomes, choosing clarity over micromanagement, and allowing love to hold what they cannot. And listen, beloved, the fixer is not a villain. The fixer is a protector part. But protectors can become prison guards when they never rest. So let's name what control looks like when it's pretending to be responsibility. It can look something like over-explaining so that no one misunderstands you, rehearsing conversations so that you can't be surprised, checking in just to make sure when you really are trying to regulate anxiety, giving advice when someone needed presence, taking over because it's faster than trusting, fixing problems before anyone asked you to fix them, feeling irritated when people don't do things the right way, and calling it leadership when it really is fear of uncertainty. Here's our yellow light check-in. Is this care or is this control? And here's the truth that steadies everything. Responsibility is clean. Control is heavy. Responsibility says, I will do my part. Control says, I will do everyone's part. Responsibility is guided by clarity, and control is driven by fear. And if God is love, then love does not require you to grip life until your hands cramp. Green light is not everything is handled. Green light is I am in integrity with what is mine to do. Red light is not failure. Red light is a boundary. Yellow is our holy hinge. Yellow is where you loosen your fist and listen. I know this one personally. I know what it is to be the capable one, the planner, the anticipator, the one who sees 10 steps ahead. And I also know the cost, because control doesn't just keep things from falling apart. It keeps you from being held. It keeps you from receiving, keeping you from resting, and it keeps you from letting life surprise you with goodness. What shifted for me was realizing trust is not passive. Trust is a practice. Control is like white-knuckling the steering wheel during a storm. You grip so hard that you forget to breathe. You think tightness equals safety. But the tighter you grip, the more exhausted you become. And exhaustion makes you less present, not more powerful. Stewardship is still driving, but with open hands. Alert, yes, but not clenched. Because the yellow light is where you relax your grip without abandoning your role. The pivot protocol: pause, assess, and decide. Here's how to work with this today in real life, in a real moment. First, we pause. When you feel the urge to take over, to fix, correct, or manage, take one breath. Let that breath interrupt the reflex. Our second step is to assess. Ask 3 questions. Is this actually mine to carry, or am I trying to prevent discomfort or prevent disaster? What would love do if fear wasn't driving? And if you want the alignment chain, use this. Premise: what am I believing? Vision: what do I really want? Purpose: why does it matter? And strategy: what is the next faithful step? Because control often sits on a premise like, if I don't manage it, something bad will happen. And beloved, sometimes the bad thing already happened and control becomes your coping. But coping is not the same as living. Our third step is to decide. Make one aligned decision, not 10, just one. Here are 3 options. Maybe you release one task that isn't yours by saying, I'm not responsible for that. Maybe you ask instead of assume. Do you want support, or do you want space? Maybe you delegate one thing and tolerate the discomfort of trusting. And remember, it's not the most dramatic step, not the most impressive step. It's the next faithful one. So here is your charge for today. Stop calling control responsibility. Responsibility builds a life. Control builds a cage. Yellow light, beloved, is to pause, assess, and decide. Maybe today practice this one sentence. I can care deeply without gripping tightly. And if you like to journal, maybe sit with this prompt for a moment. Where am I holding what isn't mine? And what would it look like to release it with love? If something in today's conversation stirred you, don't rush past that. That stirring is often the soul's way of saying, pay attention. This is your yellow light. And you do not have to navigate this alone. If you are craving clarity, if you're ready to live with purpose and you want aligned action that holds up in real life, I would love to support you. You can reach out to learn more about Life Charter or what it looks like to work with me, Babs. Just send me a message with the word yellow and tell me where you feel stuck, numb, or unsure. I'll respond with the next best step and the simplest way that we can walk it together. Until tomorrow, yellow light, pause, breathe. Right where I am, God is. What's the